This is where the game gets really interesting / deep.
Because you either settle for a weekend or you burn through your limited resource to possibly get a hit.
Yes. I don't... Wait, what? Hello? Huh?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh. It
What?
feels like we're so far. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Game Tasting.
There's a lot of ums.
Well, I'm a little... Is something different?
Does it look different to y'all?
I feel like something changed.
Does it feel more premium? Does it feel maybe a little bit more fancy?
More comfy.
I'm just saying. I feel comfortable as hell.
Hell yeah.
And so the change of scenery, we are now shooting at the bigger studio, which is downstairs.
Yes. Downtown my condo.
That's correct. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, good to be back. Have a fun game to talk about today. One that like kind of took the world by storm a little bit.
It did.
We're talking about a little card game called Balatro today.
Balatro. So, but before that, how's your mom's?
How's your mom's? How's your grandmom's?
How's your grandmom's?
Hope everyone's okay.
Where your mom's at?
It's been cold recently.
Where your mom's at? Actually, by the time this comes out, it's gonna be like spring. So
True.
We're saying cold because like in Austin, it's January, and it is. Let me see.
At night, it gets down to like the 20s.
Yeah,
for us, that's cold.
We had like snow.
We did have snow, which for us, that's rare. Although it's becoming less rare.
It's happened every year.
I remember growing up, like, if we had like a snow day, like school got canceled, that was like a big deal. That like did not happen very often.
Because it's a big deal, dude.
But now it's like, how many years in a row now have we gotten snow / ice?
Every year since like 2020, maybe?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's fucking insane.
I don't get
Anyways, so let's get back on track.
Yeah, so Balatro, taking the world by storm, like a little, it's not even anything that fancy.
So before we talk what it is, so Balatro it's a roguelike deck builder. It's like you said, it's been making waves everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, I think it's taken the gaming community out of nowhere.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, it's not even like something completely unseen or anything before. Like, because what it is, it's a deck building roguelite. That's been a thing before. I mean, it kind of started with Slay the Spire.
And you know what's funny? We've covered roguelite, the word
a little
roguelite
bit
here before.
Yes.
What episode was that?
What episode was that?
Because I remember we were talking about the difference between roguelike and roguelite.
Oh, I think it was Crab Champions.
Crab Champions.
Yes.
So it's like Crab Champions, but poker.
Yeah. If you know poker, weirdly, you might have a leg up on playing this game if you're just starting out.
Actually.
But yeah, so it's a little bit, behind the game. Can't really tell you too much about it because it was literally made by one dude named, what was his name?
Local Thunk.
Local Thunk, yeah. I don't think anyone even knows his real name. And I don't think anyone's even seen him because even at the Game Awards, which, by the way, this game was nominated for countless awards. I don't even know how many.
In 2024.
So many. Yes, 2024.
2024.
I don't know how many it had total, but it seemed like every category had it in it.
Balatro
like
in it.
Best mobile game, best soundtrack. It was nominated for just straight up game of the year.
It's
which
insane. Like, for the record,
I don't know.
I don't agree with that. I'm just saying.
But
the game is created by Local Thunk.
yeah, one
Man
dude
of Mystery.
didn't when he won awards at the show, he didn't
get it.
present it.
Yeah.
He sent like people to represent him. That's
Because,
great. Yeah.
hey,
He's like a Daft Punk back in the day.
what if it's Keanu Reeves?
That would be crazy. I don't know what if I actually found out that it was Keanu Reeves. I don't know what I would do. I actually almost feel like I'd be like, okay.
Okay. So, with that, the game is published by PlayStack. It was released, believe it or not, February 2024. Legitimately, it's that new.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
The publisher or the
game.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The game. Sorry.
I would have been like, wow, like literally the publisher came out the same year as the game. That would have
Yeah.
been...
I mean, it just combines high stakes poker with roguelike.
Yes, yeah, and we'll get into the nitty gritty on what that really looks like.
So, what do we know about Local Thunk?
I don't know much because I don't think the world knows much. The only thing that I remember seeing is that in an interview, he likes playing competitive games, and even though he made like the #1 roguelike game of the year, apparently he doesn't even really like playing them that much. He likes like kind of thinking about them or theory crafting about them more than actually playing them.
Where's he from?
I believe Canada, specifically Saskatchewan. Do you have any fun Saskatchewan facts for us?
The largest city in Saskatchewan. I want you to guess. What's the name? You're not gonna guess it.
Is it Saskatchewan City?
No.
Oh,
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon.
All right, so here is Saskatchewan is a Canadian province that borders the United States to the south. Grassland covers its southern plains, and to the north are the rugged rocks of the Canadian Shield Plateau.
By the way, this episode brought to you by Canada Dry.
Even though I'm drinking HEB. So the coniferous forest, rivers, and lakes. Regina, the provincial capital, is home to the Royal Saskatchewan Museum, with exhibits on natural history and the people of Canada's First Nations.
Wow. Yeah, we're
and
having
also producer of Local Thunk.
Yes. Yeah, this is what we're resorting to these days.
Yeah.
This is what the show is. We talk about the local provinces of where these games are made. We don't care about the games anymore.
Let me know if you guys are interested in maybe a Yelp style. Okay, so let me go over it real quick. Like we mentioned, Balatro being the roguelike deck builder, the goal is to build the best poker hand possible because you're trying to beat the dealer.
Right, yes. So, yeah. Usually we talk about like the story of the game or anything. This game has no story. It's just game. It's all game, baby.
So we should do good first. Let's talk about the good with the stuff, and then because I have some criticism.
You have some criticism?
Oh,
Okay,
I
yeah.
do.
Yeah, let's go into let's first give a description of how the game flow goes, right?
After you.
So like we mentioned, it's very poker centric in the sense that like what would be considered good poker hands in general are what you want in order to score points in this game, right? And so every round there's I believe it's called an ante,
Yes.
where basically it's a minimum score that you have to beat in that round. And so and you'll have a certain number of hands that you can play to reach that number.
Yep.
Now, different types of poker hands are worth different things.
So give me some examples of some poker hands.
So, like the very basic one, like the lowest points you can get is just playing a card,
Yeah.
right? Just if you have a card, it'll if you play like 5 cards but none of them are matching or anything, it'll just look at the highest card and be like, all right, that's as good as it gets, right? That's like the most basic. That's the floor, right? All the way up to like getting like a royal flush kind of thing, which that is going to get you
So
a lot
when
of
Dorian
points.
says playing a card, he means high card.
Yes.
So
right.
there's the way that you do it since you're trying to get higher. It's that. So it's the high card, the duo, the pair, trips.
2 pair, trips.
2 pair, 3 of a
straight.
kind, straight flush, full house, 4 of a kind, straight flush, and royal flush.
Yes.
And like you know what, we'll have a little thing that
little-
shows what those would look like.
Yeah. Some poker tips for you
Yeah.
too. And so all these different hands get you a certain number of points, right?
Correct.
So and the way it scores is it looks at the actual number on the card. So like a king is worth 10 points, right? Pretty much all the face cards are worth 10 points. And then after that, the cards are worth the number on them. So a 9 is worth 9, 8 is worth 8, so on and so forth. But so it'll add all those points together, and then depending on the type of hands, if it's 2 pair, 3 of a kind, and so on, it'll add a multiplier to it. and that's just base, right? So you're wanting to play the better hands in order to get the better multiplier, to get the higher score, to beat the minimum score. Once you do that, once you beat that minimum score, boom, you move on to the next round.
Yep. So, a little bit. So we're explaining it, but let's say you don't know how to play poker.
Yeah.
Or you just don't know how to play this game, period.
Yeah.
So you start off with a deck of 52 cards. You draw 8 cards. And then you choose 4, right? And that's...
I believe 5.
Is it 5?
I believe you can choose 5 cards. Like to play in a hand, you mean?
Yeah, I thought you could play up to 4.
You can play 5 because you can do the straight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Uh-oh.
almost said a word. Okay, so yeah, you play that and you score enough chips to beat the dealer. But there are modifiers and things.
Yes, and that's where the game gets crazy.
El Joker.
Yes.
Or tarot cards.
What's his name? Jumbo?
Yeah, Jumbo.
The Joker sort of has a personality in this game called Jumbo. This is where the game gets really interesting / deep.
Because you either settle for a weak hand or you burn through your limited resource to possibly get a hit.
Yes. Wait, what?
So it's like, because your deck is limited is what I meant.
Oh yes,
And
yeah.
so
yeah.
your-
Once you
your
play a
resources are
hand,
finite. And so it's like, do you risk like drawing and getting rid of what possibly could be the best you have right now?
Yes. Yeah, good. Yeah. Anytime you play a hand or discard
It's gone.
it's gone for that round.
Correct.
Yeah, and so the Jokers are where this game starts getting really I don't want to say complex because it's not a complex game to play. It's actually a pretty easy game to pick up.
Very
I
easy
think.
to pick up. And you know what? Shout out to you. So Lang, he was the one that told us to like play this game. He actually
Yes.
bought the game
Yes.
for us to play.
I meant to say that earlier actually. Like this is I think probably the first game that we played that was like a true recommendation from one of our
y'all.
viewers / listeners.
One of y'all. And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, yeah. What was I saying? So yeah, it's an easy game to pick up, right? Like it's a pretty simple game that anyone can just start and jump into. But the Jokers are where, like, if you really get into the game, you can do some crazy stuff with them because, why don't you explain like what a Joker does or what the premise of Jokers?
What it's able to do is like deck manipulation.
Yeah.
So you're able to either manipulate, level up your cards or improve their quality, like make more hands show up more frequently.
All sorts of
All
things.
sorts of
That's
shit, right?
So like I think literally when it's like teaching you how to play the game, the very first Joker gives
remember
you
what it was.
It's just like it increases it multiplies your multiplier by 2. I think.
Oh yeah,
Like that. That's all it does. It
the
just
Joker
gives you a times
does
2.
so much. It's like
That's the most basic.
yeah, because it can fucking change the deck.
They can
completely.
do crazy things. Yeah,
and they can fuck you up.
Which like I'll ask you once we're done kind of going through everything. I'm gonna have a question for you. But and you know I'll ask you it now so you can be thinking about it as we talk. Like, what was your craziest like bunch of Jokers? Like, what was your craziest
crazy
Joker
setup?
set? Yes.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
And you can give me that answer at the end. But so, yeah, like I can't even start giving examples because they can do something as simple as just multiply your score by 2 to doing just crazy
Change
things.
all the number cards to face
Yeah,
cards.
or like multiply every time you do something like this or that. Or it's really, and there's so many different types of Jokers in the game. I haven't even, I've played, you know what? I didn't check how many hours. It's a lot of hours that I've played and put into this game, and I still haven't even unlocked all the Jokers.
Dude, there's so much.
Yeah.
Like, there's actually just so much.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard to unlock.
Yeah. And so that's where I think most of the skill or strategy comes in is like, so we explained how the round goes, right? You want to do the best poker hands to beat the score, but in between the rounds, that's where you get these Jokers because in between each round, you go to the little shop, right? Mm-hmm. And in the shop, it'll give you a random, just like random rewards. Like it'll usually include like 1 or 2 Jokers. Some of those cards that you were mentioning that can like upgrade the cards themselves.
Yep. Upgrade the deck.
But you never know. You never know what
Yeah.
you're going to get in there. So you can't even go in and be like, I'm gonna use this, and this Joker because you don't even know.
You can't go in planned.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go in planned. And so you kind of have to make do with what you're given and kind of change on the fly what your strategy is. So that's where a lot of that, kind of on the fly strat comes in.
So I want to ask you, with some strategy stuff that we talked, because I feel we've talked about the core gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what your thoughts are on the visuals and sound.
So the visuals, they went with a very
Nintendo.
very indie developer route, right?
Think Undertale.
Yes, that kind of like old school not even 8-bit. It's more, but very pixelated.
It's like 32-bit.
30, yeah. It's got that indie feel that like I feel like if you're gonna make an indie game at some point your game is gonna look like this. But the soundtrack,
fuck, dude.
Oh,
the soundtrack.
Just
fucks.
Throw a little bit of
Yes,
like,
right
but
here.
not enough to
get us copyright.
just like
straight.
about 5 seconds and boom, right there.
Sick.
It's like a chill vibe that you're just like. That's how I played this game a lot of the times. It's like usually it was like at the end of the day, I want to wind down. I'm like, I'm just gonna play some Balatro.
It's so when I was playing it on PC,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've transitioned to like iPad gaming
Oh yeah.
because I'm like a baby. Like I play Pokemon on my iPad. I play Balatro.
Have you gotten the little rubber grips yet?
yeah, Jen got me that. But yeah, I'm with you on that. As far as the soundtrack, I mean, it fucks
Yeah.
hard.
Yes. It was really.
And I mean, that's a reason that it was nominated, right?
Yeah. Well, one of them.
Whatever. I mean, it.
And yeah, because that was cool. Because one thing that the Game Awards does, and this is always honestly like my favorite part of the Game Awards, is right before they do like the actual awarding of Game of the Year, they do such a good job where their orchestra does a medley of the theme songs from all the nominated Game of the Year games.
So good.
They do such a good job. And like honestly, when they started playing the Balatro part, I was like, this is really good. That's really good. Honestly, that was the reason I was most disappointed that Helldivers didn't make it, because Helldivers' theme song is so good.
It's because metal isn't mainstream.
Well, Helldivers isn't.
Oh, sorry, Helldivers.
You're thinking of Metal Hellsinger.
Hellsinger,
Yeah,
sorry.
we talked about that recently. Yeah. No, Helldivers.
Yeah.
The theme song for that is so good. I would have loved to hear the orchestra, but them doing the Balatro part was like really good, as well as
That was
all
cool.
the other.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, that soundtrack, it was nominated for best soundtrack. I think it was also nominated for best mobile game.
Yeah.
Which that I will give it.
Understandable.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Do you want to talk about our feelings on the Game of the Year nomination for this?
nah, that's not.
No?
That's not Sully the episode. Well,
Too bad.
so I just thought about the best hand that I had with.
Okay, yeah. Let's
So,
talk about that a little bit.
There was one game where I had the Joker made it so I had multiple faces.
Okay.
Specifically multiple kings.
Okay.
And there was one with like my opening 8 was like 5 kings. And I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And the multiplier was crazy. And I was like, yeah, how is this legal? But that's the thing, because that game you could be popping the fuck off.
Yeah.
And then you play another one,
You get screwed.
you get nothing.
Yeah.
And that's part of the appeal, I feel.
And I think that's also what made it so accessible for me, is because like roguelites, I enjoy roguelites, but sometimes, and I don't know if you've ever encountered this in any of the ones that you've played, where you put so much time and energy into a run, and then you lose, and it's just like it feels so bad, and you're just like, I don't want to play this anymore. Balatro,
Doesn't
even when
give
I
you that.
lost, it was just like I just go again.
Go next.
I just go next. Yeah, it was very chill that way because of just the overall vibe of the game. But like, yeah, I would have those runs where you get something crazy good, and then like another one where like I think there was one run where I lost on the first ante.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because I just like my
Nothing.
Just I just got nothing. And so another thing that it throws at you that can ruin a run for you is so there's rounds, right? You go through the rounds, but every third round is considered like a boss round.
Yeah.
Right? And what it means by a boss round is it throws some sort of modifier at the game. And some of these can be a real bitch. Some of them aren't that bad. Like, well, again, it depends on how the run's going. Like one is just called, I think it's just called the wall, where it's basically like the ante that you have to beat is just like absurdly high. It's just like a much bigger number than usual.
Much higher.
Which like if it throws the wall at you on like the first round of 3, it's just like I don't have anything going yet. You know, how do I can't do this. But if you run into on like round 8 or something like that, it's usually not too bad. Then you have other ones. I think
what was your favorite? What's yours?
My least favorite boss. I think the one that I hate the most is the one where you only have one hand.
Oh yeah.
You get one try to beat the score and that's it.
Yeah.
That one I'm just like, it gave me nothing though.
But you might have liked it if you had a good hand.
If you have a good hand, it's no problem. But you know, it deals the cards out like a dealer would, and it's like I didn't get anything, so I lose. Like I get no other try. That's it.
Is there any game out right now that you could compare Balatro to?
Oh man, not. Maybe the closest thing would be Slay the Spire, just because that is a game that is a roguelite and it involves building a deck.
Yeah.
But that's the closest thing because like that one is like it's like combat. Like you have like a little character. What the cards do is like different attacks and stuff like that. Because of the poker aspect of Balatro, that's what I think gives it such a unique
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else. Oh, well, probably now there's probably like a bunch of
clones,
Balatro clones or something out there now. But I think like the genius combination of poker and a roguelite, especially because poker, like everyone knows poker.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, when I say knows it, I mean like knows of it, not necessarily plays it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's not like, you know, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Like you talk to any normal person on the street, they may or may not know what that is at all. If you say, "Hey, do you know what poker is?" Everyone's gonna know what it is. You know.
Yeah. What's it called? And especially because there's YouTubers now that encourage gambling to like kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things that I feel make this game stand out is it's like we've said, like the replayability, because there's so many random things that could happen that could affect the game. So no one round is the same.
Yeah.
So every different set is like it's different, and much like a roguelite, you're trying to beat your score, and so you go higher and higher and higher and higher, and that's something that makes it incredibly so much more replayable. But at the same time, with it being like so replayable, I think that's also kind of a crux, right?
Yeah.
I think so, right?
Expand on that.
So with this being incredibly, the replayability being good, I feel that once you've learned the system, it's very nuanced. It's super simple, and at some point it gets repetitive. Yeah. And then you're finding yourself just going, okay, dead next, dead go next, dead go next.
And you also start to like recognize certain jokers as like, oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of target certain ones, even though it's random. But
it at some point with enough gameplay, and I'm sure that this applies with every game or most games. If you've played it enough, the gameplay becomes shallow. And so I found myself, I would play like hours at a time, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop because it's not, okay, maybe it's like I'm not even having fun anymore. And it's more like,
I know what you mean.
I just need to fucking hit it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
especially if you get really close.
Yeah. And it's like, I can't put it down.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that literally the first night that I ever played it.
I remember because you were saying it. You told us.
I started playing it. I was just gonna like test it out because of the suggestion for the show, and I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And it's just like I honestly don't know how long I played. Like it was definitely the sun was still out when I started, and then it wasn't, and I was like, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. But
So,
right?
Yeah,
like, it becomes shallow, and it becomes almost just you're just a machine going through the motions.
Yeah.
And I can't fault the game for that because
It's because it's so easy to go again and so fast.
so fast. And it's like no punish. Like you don't get punished.
Yeah, there's no.
It's not like other roguelites where there's a ramp up time.
Yeah.
Right?
Like also, when I say like it takes almost no time to start a new run, like literally like you lose, boom, I'm like starting again. Unlike, like when I was playing Kingdom Hearts as a kid and I couldn't beat the Clayton fight.
Oh, fuck.
Every time you lost, you had to sit through that whole cutscene again. Which like that, when you go through that cutscene enough times, you're like, all right, I need to take a break.
I didn't stop seeing Clayton face. I swear to God.
Yeah. But with this, it's just like you could just immediately start again. So there's just like there's no
downtime
to be like, all right, maybe I should stop playing.
And I think that is also it's good. But it's
good
also
and bad.
It's good and bad, right?
It's good game design. It's bad
it
for our
keeps
humanity.
Because it keeps you on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed a couple of Japanese produced games is like they encourage you. Like if you've been playing for X hours, it tells you like, hey,
yeah,
you need to stop.
I was about to say, it's been a while.
It's been a
Final
while.
Fantasy 14 did that.
Yeah, they tell you to chill out.
Yeah, it would be like I think the Yoshi P has even been like, hey, like if you have done everything that you want to do in the game, like unsub for a little bit. Like
he encourages it, but I can't do it because I have a fucking house.
Bro, I'm a renter. I don't have to worry about it.
And then what's it called? Dude, now we're talking about 14. So Soken, he did the song for one of the wrestlers that I like.
He did?
For Kenny Omega. He did Kenny Omega's song. Kenny is the one who was in AEW. He's like the only good person in AEW.
Well, except for
he's the Sephiroth guy.
Oh, well, yeah. I was gonna say Penta.
Oh,
because you
Penta's
said that
not
he came.
an AEW guy. He's a WWE guy.
Well, I thought you said he came from.
He did.
Okay. Well, okay.
But yeah, like Soken did that song, and I was listening to it. I was like, why the fuck does this sound so familiar? And then it's Soken.
Yeah.
It's soaked in.
That's so cool.
So another criticism that I personally don't have an issue with, but I know that like going online I've read about is the lack of rewards.
Yeah, I think that's probably like I'll admit, like shooting this episode.
Sorry, specifically for losing.
Yeah, okay. When you first start playing the game, I think you get a lot more rewards. But
Absolutely.
After you've played enough rounds, though, even when like I win a round, like it doesn't. You've kind of it throws all the unlocks at you like right away, and so then it kind of dries up.
And so that's the thing, right? So once you're at that point, there is pretty much no incentive for you to keep playing for unlockables, because it hamstrings your unlocking progress, and that feels bad.
Yeah.
And it's like I wish it was a more steady progression that they don't front load you. With all the loot.
Because I think the last time I played, I finally finished a run with the black deck, and the only thing that I unlocked was a new deck. I was expecting to be hit with like, new deck, new jokers, all this stuff, but like I just got the new deck and like that was it, and I was like, this took me so long to beat this one,
and that's it,
and that's all I get.
Yeah,
that didn't feel great.
It's a feels bad.
Yeah,
and that's I think that maybe if I don't know, maybe it's because we wouldn't be so hooked in if they didn't front load the loot as much.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh fuck, like now you're thinking maybe this is the same way that they do loot for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong. And it's not like, that's not to say I don't like the game. I love the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a card game guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big TCG player. Like I love roguelites. I fucking played
Yeah.
Potato. I love Crab Champions. I'm about it.
And I'm agreeing with you on all of these. And like, still, if you look at my hours on Steam, it's probably up there.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like I liked this game also, but yeah, there's definitely certain things where I was
So
like,
I wanna. So you mentioned that. Oh yeah, like Balatro doesn't have a story,
yeah,
but if you go to any other roguelite, the story is one of their highlights.
yeah. Which like Slay the Spire,
Slay the
it's
Spire
all
is
about
very
like climbing the tower,
story
fighting
driven.
monsters. Yeah.
And like there's like Hades,
Yes.
and it's like
Hades is
that's
amazing.
that's the thing with the genre of roguelites is it encourages good storytelling, incorporates a strong narrative, but Velatro doesn't have that. Right?
Yeah, it's
And so-
it's just the game.
It focuses solely on the gameplay mechanics, and that's not bad. I'm
It's
not
not
saying
bad.
it's bad, but it's
It's
almost not true to the genre.
it's why it makes such an amazing mobile game. Because like I mean I know times are changing, right? And like people are like straight up playing Fortnite and Call of Duty on their phones and shit nowadays. But like when I think of a mobile game, I'm wanting a game that I can just quickly dive into while I'm waiting for like a
Pokemon
doctor's
Pocket.
appointment. Pokemon Pocket, but Balatro is another one.
Balatro, Marvel Snap,
Marvel Snap.
banned
It's back.
on mobile.
I haven't checked on mobile, but
I think it's banned
but
on
it was
mobile.
banned on PC also.
Was it?
Yeah, and it's back on PC. So
I'm assuming it's.
Oh, I got the reason I knew it was back is because I got the notification on my phone that it was back. So it is back. It was banned for 2 days,
And I know that-
longer than TikTok was.
TikTok was same day, dude.
TikTok was same day. Marvel Snap, it took 2 days to get back.
CapCut is still banned.
What is?
The editing software.
Oh, I don't-
CapCut. We
don't
don't
know.
use it. We use Premiere.
Only the best
Only the
for our
best.
viewers.
So another issue that some people had, not me, and this one I disagree with it, is balancing. Right? So we were talking about like some games could be so easy, but some games are incredibly uphill, painful
Yeah.
to play. I don't find an issue with that personally. I think that it adds to the randomness and
it's very much poker.
it's very much poker.
That's
and that's
poker.
the whole thing. It's like that's the poker aspect of the game. So what are your thoughts on the balancing thing? Are
The
you
balancing, I didn't really notice anything there because of the randomness, right? Like that's just the nature of card games in general. Like you don't know what you're going to get dealt, right? The whole saying, right, is like you got to play what you're dealt. Or you got dealt a bad hand. You know, there's so many like phrases in life about poker hands, right? But it all has to deal with like just, you know, playing with what you got. And that's what this game is. So like I don't know if you can really say too much about balancing.
because you can't balance randomness.
Yeah, you can't really do that. Like the only thing I can
can't.
think of maybe is like I mentioned, like getting the wall boss on the very
Yeah,
first like
on the first
set,
one.
like never felt good. But like even that, it wasn't like it was ever insurmountable, right?
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
not.
I would lose to it, but other times I would be able to get
yeah.
past it.
So it's to me when people complain about the balancing, I just find kind of like the line of thinking that I have. Same this applies to pretty much every game I play. TCGs, ARPGs, everything except League. Is that it's challenging but very rewarding. Right? Where like the insurmountable thing.
Yeah,
And then finding just enough to edge it out.
yeah,
How can you not feel fucking elated?
yeah, yeah. It's especially like when it's like a clutch, like narrow.
Yeah,
win,
that's what I'm
'cause-
saying. It's like
Because
just
there
enough.
were times where it wouldn't have necessarily even been the wall, but like some crazy boss ante, and like it's the last hand, it's my last chance, and then like I forgot that I had the Joker that like plays my last hand twice, and I was just like, oh my god, I totally forgot I had that. That's the only reason I just won this. So like that's fun. It's an interesting, and also as someone who has really bad luck.
Yeah, absolute shit luck. Absolutely fucking the worst luck.
If you think that this game is like imbalanced or something, like as someone who has that shit luck, I'm like, no, it's probably you just have somehow worse luck than me because like you play enough rounds, you're going to like get a good run going.
Statistically.
Yeah, just that's how
But
it works.
the game encourages creativity because
Experimentation. 'Cause, yeah,
age of
you
experimentation.
don't know how each Joker is going to interact with the others and
don't.
everything.
And-
which actually, hang on, going back, I
Sorry.
don't think you said what your worst boss was. What your least favorite one was.
I've had the wall at round 1,
yeah.
and I mean I lost. I don't think I ever beat him in round 1 because the hands that I was dealt is just dog. But that's the thing with me. It's like if you give me a different one, I'm able to kind of I feel edge it out. But like because I could win with small increments.
Was there one though where like anytime it showed up, no matter what round you were just
That
like,
I go
fuck
next?
this one.
No. Do you have one?
The one where it only gives you one hand was the one.
I don't mind the gamble.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as you know, I'm actually a gambling man.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, one of the things that I wanted to ask you, this game has a cult following now.
Yeah.
It has the community that supports itself like outside of Reddit. It does it on Steam. Have you looked into any of the mods on Steam?
No, I didn't even think about mods for this type of game.
I haven't.
Like, are
either.
people
I
like
was-
adding new Jokers in or something?
I was hoping you
No,
did,
no.
'cause
Like
I had
honestly,
it.
with PC games, mods are usually like something I'm like, I wonder what people are doing with this. But like for some reason, this game, like it was because it was so simple. Like I never thought of anyone making mods
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, you should like. I'm
Interesting.
probably gonna check it out when I get home.
Yeah.
Because like the Steam Workshop, it's super easy to get mods. All you have
Yeah.
to do is click subscribe, and then you have the mod.
I wonder. I saw, you know how like Steam, when you're going into a game to play it, it'll show like recent like news about it
Yeah.
and stuff. I think I did see, I guess through the Steam Workshop, is people made like I said, they're Joker cards, but they're Jokers that are incorporating like characters or traits from other games.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, which it goes vice versa. By the way, I'm gonna go kind of into like how crazy big this game blew up. Is this Balatro was like being featured in like other games.
Yeah.
One of them being Cyberpunk. Like
That was weird.
it got its own
Billboard, right?
quest.
Yeah.
It's a whole quest.
It's a whole quest.
Yeah, I was playing Cyberpunk recently, and I'm like walking along, and I get like a text from like an unknown number, and it's Jumbo, the Joker.
The Joker.
And basically, it's not like a super crazy quest, but it's basically like there's like little spray paints or graffitis of different Jokers all over the city that you go and like find and collect
That's
and stuff.
cool.
But like, yeah, like Balatro is just everywhere.
It found that crazy mainstream success.
Yeah, yeah.
It's because it's a
From
fucking,
just that one
it's
dude.
just poker.
Local thunk.
Dude, local thunk, the
He has to
hero,
be swimming in money. Right?
hero of Saskatchewan.
Like I'm curious what he's gonna do next.
Nothing.
Nothing.
What else would he need to do? He has enough money to retire.
I don't know. Some people are just in it for
Like
the
a passion project.
passion. Yeah.
I think that if he does, I think that it'll be good. If he sticks to the genre. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's a one-man job, right?
It's a one man job, so like I doubt he'd do anything like that crazy. But I don't know. Balatro 2. What would that even be like?
I don't know that one.
I don't know what. Just more. Balatro 2. Too many Jokers.
But yeah, I mean that's my thoughts on it. I think it's a great game.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's easy to pick up, fun to play, a little too easy to play, as we were
A
saying.
little too easy, very hard to put
to
down.
like keep playing. Yeah. Oh, what was your set of Jokers that was like your best one that you thought of?
Let me think. Because it's been a while since I've played the game.
Okay.
Because there was some that I was like raging. I think I even streamed it. If I did stream it, I'll put it up. If
Okay.
not,
I'll tell you mine while you think
yeah, what's
about
yours?
it. Just kind of give you like an idea of how like complex the Joker like synergy
Yeah.
can be. So like I got a Joker where basically so like the different Joker cards have like different rarities, right? So you can get a Joker that's like common, uncommon, rare, and I think legendary. It was a rare Joker that basically for every uncommon Joker you had besides that one, it multiplied by like 1.5 or something like that. Which whenever you multiply the multiplier, that's big.
That's big, yeah. I mean, because it's multiplicative, not additive.
Right. And so I got that one, and I'm like, okay. And so I just started getting like every uncommon Joker I had. This was also a run where I was doing the black deck, which means that you have one less hand, but you get an extra Joker slot.
Yeah.
So I think normally you get 5 Jokers.
How many did you have?
I had 6 Jokers. All of them were uncommon. So
God.
so 5 Jokers. So like 5 1.5 multiplications.
Fucking holy shit!
Just from that one card. I haven't even told you what the other Jokers were. So one of them was it added points to each hand score based on your total number of gold. And then I had another one that increased my amount of gold that I had. And so I had an absurd amount of gold. So every hand, it was adding like at least 100.
Oh, that's crazy synergy. See, none of my hands blew up like that. It was more grindy.
I also had one where anytime you know how you use the celestial cards to upgrade the hand multiplier itself?
Yeah.
It would increase by point. It starts at just 1, but every time you use a celestial card, it will go up to like 1.2, 1.4, multiply. So my thing was getting multiplied. And so I got to a point where every single round I won first turn because it was just like...
That high.
It was,
If you're
It felt so good.
Now that's euphoric.
Touch face.
Do you have any like gameplay like footage of that?
I never recorded it. I'm a fraud.
Damn.
I mean, we're gonna need to actually record some gameplay.
Yeah.
Which did you want to do it or did you want me to do it?
It depends. We'll see. Because we have a couple. We have a couple of good episodes lined up. I'm actually super stoked for it.
Yes.
We're doing a different setup on like because we're gonna be doing board games, card games, whatever.
Yeah, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it
episodes ago.
Yeah,
but,
like 2-3 episodes before.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be exciting.
It's exciting because we did a trial run.
Mm-hmm. That was fun.
And it was good.
Yeah.
So can't wait to show you guys that. I can't remember I can't top that. So
you can't top. Okay.
Fuck what?
that just goes to show you like when you find like these different Jokers that interact with each other, like
the synergistic combos.
That's where the
crazy.
strategy comes in, and that's where like when you get a good run, that's where it just feels really good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to ask, what do you guys think of the setup?
Yes. Yeah. What do you think of the new setup? What do you think of Balatro? You know, let us know. I don't think we've ever actually asked for you to comment on anything before.
Comment though, please.
Let us know what you all think if you've played the game. What are your thoughts on it being nominated for Game of the Year?
Bullshit.
Anywhere? I don't know.
Unnecessary. Not a fan of that.
Not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. But.
And if you have another game, right, let us know.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
don't even have to buy it like Lang did. Thank you. But you didn't like if you guys have any recs, throw it.
Yes,
We're probably more than willing to do it.
Yeah, because we're
I'm not doing horror.
We're only like we only have a certain amount of knowledge as far as games, right?
Yeah.
Like you have your
my niche.
your niche. I have my
your
thing,
niche.
and we give each other our games, but like outside of our zones, we're gonna need other things.
Maybe League of Legends.
I think we talked about that, like maybe even in the first episode, and
Yeah.
I know it's coming at some point.
At some point.
But
what do you guys think of these? These plates.
These are my posters.
Anyways, that's all I have.
Yeah, that's all I
You
have.
got any closing remarks for the folks?
Just look forward to the next episode because it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna
I'm
be
actually
a new
so
one.
excited.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
excited to.
I haven't been as excited to shoot an episode since we first started this show.
Yeah.
Because this is my forte. Like I love card games, dude. And the next one is a card game.
Yes. Shh. Spoiler. Yeah. No,
All
it's
right.
gonna be a fun one. Anyway, until next time, everyone. Say hi to your mom.
Drink water. Drink a lot of water.
Make good choices. All that good stuff.
All that stuff.
And
And yeah,
see y'all later.
see you guys.